Back at again with another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G. Today we're gonna react to 2Pac's Hit 'Em Up, the Untold True Story. As you guys may know, if you check my old content, you guys know that 2Pac's my favorite rapper of all time. When I mean that, the older generation. I wasn't alive, but he's my favorite rapper of all time. So we're gonna get right into this video. 2Pac's Hit 'Em Up, the 2Pac's Hit 'Em Up, the Untold True Story. Let's get right into the video.
When I started Walton Goggins goggle glasses.
We got ads. Come on now. Hold on.
This is 92 Bricks, the fastest growing hip hop page on Instagram. Now we're here to take over YouTube, treating YouTube. Hit the all heard of 2Pac, right? If so, you've definitely heard of Biggie. In which case, it's more than likely that you've heard of 2Pac's legendary Biggie diss track, Hit 'Em Up. But what you don't know is the intricate story behind the track. Sit tight, get comfortable, roll yourself a fat-ass blunt, and lock in. Because
he might get into like the Quad Studio situation and stuff like that.
you ain't gonna want to miss this. In the mid-90s, 2Pac unleashed the most venomous diss track of all time, Hit 'Em Up. A track so raw and so personal that it's etched into hip-hop history forever. But what led to such a fiery outburst? This documentary dives deep into the background, exploring the events and relationships that culminated in this iconic
record. It definitely goes down as one of the best diss tracks of all time. You got this, you got No Vaseline. I don't really have any other favorite diss tracks. Those are probably my top two favorite ones.
This is the untold true story behind 2Pac's Hit 'Em Up. How Biggie and 2Pac first met. 2Pac's rise to stardom began in 1991 with the release of his debut album 2Pacalypse Now and his standout role in the blockbuster movie Juice. Although born in New York, Pac was raised primarily in Oakland, California, where he cultivated his artistry and activism. By the early 90s, however, Pac was spending increasing amounts of time back in New York City. It was in New York that 2Pac met Biggie Smalls, an up-and-coming MC from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. At the time, Biggie was building a name for himself with his underground hit, Party and Bullshit. 2Pac, already a star, took Biggie under his wing, letting him open for his shows and offering him advice on navigating the industry. Here's 2Pac and Biggie freestyling together.
But now I'm about to pass this motherfucker on because this Tangeray is getting hella strong.
Money, hoes, and clothes. Blood smoke coming out the nose is all a nigga knows. Flipping on foes, putting tags on toes.
Before, their beef and everything that transpired and everything, they had good chemistry. When it came to them battle, like rapping, like, freestyling or whatever, they had good chemistry. They could have definitely made a song together. So, but it didn't happen.
Their relationship seemed strong, built on mutual respect and shared ambition. But this friendship would soon face trials that neither could have anticipated. The tensions begin. On November 30th, 1994, everything changed. 2Pac was lured to Quad Studios in Times Square under the pretense of recording a feature for music executive Jimmy Henchman. Instead, Pac was ambushed, shot 5 times, and robbed of his jewelry.
Rap artist 2Pac Shakur was apparently attacked in a New York City recording studio.
Shakur, who was shot 5 times Wednesday during an apparent robbery attempt.
They ordered him to the floor. 2Pac resisted. He was shot numerous times, at least twice in the head, once in the left arm, once in the thigh, once in the groin area.
Shakur is currently undergoing surgery for multiple gunshot wounds.
And he has every right to, create the diss, because, he felt like he got set up. And whether it happened or not, it's all a conspiracy. The truth could come out, but therefore, he got shot 5 times, right? They said every body part, the groin, the leg, or whatever, the arm, I don't really know. But y'all know what I mean, right? He felt like, okay, he got hit, but he was still alive. You feel me? So.
To make matters worse, Biggie and members of Bad Boy Records and Junior Mafia were reportedly in the same building on a different floor when the attack occurred. The next day, while recovering from his injuries, 2Pac was convicted in a sexual assault case and was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. Sent to Clinton Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison in upstate New York, Pac began to stew over the events that had transpired. While incarcerated, 2Pac heard whispers that Biggie and his camp might have known more about the Quad Studios ambush.
And then, when he got locked up, this was around the time when, what's the album called? Me Against the World, that dropped. while he was serving his little sentence. You know what I'm saying? So
Then they let on.
While I'm in jail, strangers is telling me, yo, you don't know? Biggie homeboy shot you. Cause they bragging, they telling they niggas in jail, yo, we just got popped, woo, 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 woo. And my cousin was in jail in New York, cause I got family out there. He sit right there while the niggas get in the car going, yo, my homeboys just jacked that nigga 2Pac. So that's how I knew who shot me, what happened, and everything.
Adding insult to injury, Biggie released the track, Who Shot You?
okay. It took me a while to realize this and learn behind this. This is a good diss track too, but this wasn't even towards Pac. It was towards LL Cool J. So that's another thing.
Yeah, shortly after the shooting. Though Biggie insisted the song was unrelated, the timing was too coincidental for Puck to ignore. The betrayal Puck felt was compounded by Biggie's rise to stardom while Tupac was locked up, driven by the success of his debut album, Ready to Die, which quickly sold 2 million copies while Tupac was incarcerated.
We did it, Brooklyn, we did it!
Tupac, meanwhile, was confined to a cell, unable to fully enjoy the success of his own album, Me Against the World, which was released during his imprisonment. Behind bars, Tupac began meticulously plotting his response. In handwritten transcripts from 1995, Puck laid the groundwork for what would become Hit 'Em Up. This is the
This was like, so pretty much he X'd out all the people he was gonna diss in the song. That's crazy.
list of people and artists Tupac was planning on gunning for. Number 1 on the list, Biggie. On October 12, 1995, Suge Knight and Death Row Records secured Tupac's release by posting a $1.4 million bail in exchange for Tupac signing with the label. Biggie was signed to Bad Boy, flashy and ruling the East Coast. Tupac, he'd just signed with Death Row, the most feared label in the game. This wasn't just music. Suge Knight and P. Diddy already had beef. For Tupac, Death Row wasn't business, it was war.
Let's not talk about him.
His release, Tupac was whisked to California in a private jet, where he immediately began working on his Death Row debut, All Eyes on Me. Why does all this matter? What's the point of digging up all this dirt? Well, buckle up, because this is where it gets wild. The beef begins. Fresh out the pen, Tupac didn't waste a second. The day after his release, he linked up with none other than Faith Evans, Biggie's wife, out in LA. They hit the studio and laid down the track, Wonder Why They Call You Bitch.
And that's why they called you bitch, I betcha.
That's crazy, because I've never sat down and actually listened to this song. Is this song like really good? Like, tell me in the comments.
Bitch, why they call you bitch, I betcha.
But that wasn't the only thing getting laid that night. Word on the street, the two got real cozy, and multiple sources confirmed they spent the evening together.
I ain't one to gossip, but I seen this one with my own eye. Faith Evans did screw Tupac. She got in the car with him that night when he left the club.
He called me and he's like, I did it. And I'm like, what? What you did? He's like, that bitch just left my hotel. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, fuck Faith. And I was like, oh.
So Faith came to the studio, and you was at the studio when she came to the studio to see Tupac? You was there? Hell yeah.
Oh, so he wasn't lying when he said that. So he meant what he said.
Was there when she came to Can-Am. You know, seeing Faith, you know, that's Biggie's wife, so I'm like, damn, cuz. Wow. I'm going home.
Now, let's keep it real. In the 90s rap game, loyalty was scarce and temptation was everywhere. Rings didn't mean a thing when the champagne was flowing and the money was piling up. Biggie, he wasn't exactly innocent. The man lived up to his name, notorious. He had women everywhere. Lil' Kim, Charlie Baltimore, the list goes on. Maybe that's why they called him Big. But let's not get distracted. Back to Puck. Faith knew what Biggie was up to, and maybe, just maybe, she wanted to send a message. Puck saw the opening and...
Well, if you did watch the Notorious movie, they spoke about how, you know, Biggie, you know, cheated on Faith, so that's probably what made her, you know. So, that's just, if you want to, like, tie everything in together and just think about it really deeply in that level, you can really tie it all together and really know. Maybe that's why that happened.
played the game like a kingpin.
Shout out to Faith. Hey girl, Faith and Bad Boy Records.
Tupac wasn't the type.
And then again, like I said, you know, Pac, he had gotten arrested, and you know what I'm saying, they all was upstairs looking at him after he got shot at Quad Studios, and then, so therefore, when he heard this track while incarcerated, he automatically pointed fingers to him. So he, you know, that's probably why it was all a revenge thing, you know. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, Hit 'Em Up is a classic. It's a good song. It's a good diss track. Definitely one of the best diss tracks of all time. So, but we're gonna finish this video.
To let an opportunity like this slide, whether it was a revenge, mind games, or just pure drama, Tupac didn't just cross the line. He burned it down. Using Faith Evans wasn't just personal, it was a declaration of war. And in the process, he turned hip-hop's most infamous beef into a blood feud that would change the game forever. During their time in the studio, Puck explicitly told Faith Evans about his plans to release a diss track aimed at Biggie. He even revealed the specific sample he intended to use, Don't Look Any Further by Dennis Edwards. This information would later play a pivotal role in Biggie's actions. Following their studio session, Faith returned to New York and reportedly shared with Biggie the details of Tupac's plans, including the use of
Don't get me wrong, Biggie's a talented artist also. He knows how to tell a story. He has a good flow, unique flow. But preferably, I enjoy Pac's music more, you know, so.
Don't Look Any Further sample. Biggie, sensing the potential impact of Puck's diss track, moved quickly to counteract it.
Here's how the average man's life.
Why we got an advertisement? And it's 46 seconds.
Tupac records Hit 'Em Up. Tupac recorded the first version of Hit 'Em Up on October 31st, 1995. Initially intended as a diss track to be included on his All Eyes on Me album.
So what, this must be like the scrapped version of it? Like the, you know.
This version never came out, and Biggie never heard this. But Tupac was still dissing Biggie and mentioning fucking Biggie's bitch. Why didn't Tupac release this version? Because Tupac wanted to gauge the reception of his new album first, before potentially
Why did he say it like that? That's why like my facial expression, like, why did he say it like that?
hip-hop's biggest artist at the time, Biggie.
It's tight, right? That's tight.
Only 10 days before Tupac was set to release his All Eyes on Me album, armed with the information from Faith, Biggie preemptively released a track called Get Money Remix. The track used the same Don't Look Any Further sample Tupac had disclosed to Faith Evans. Biggie's move was a calculated attempt.
Bro, he really tried to diss him back with his own like sample diss, like the beat he used. So he literally just reused the beat that Pac used and thought it was gonna be better. Come on, you can't do that.
To undermine Tupac's diss track before it could be released. The track included lyrics which can be perceived as shots and warnings towards Tupac.
It's Brooklyn in the house, without a doubt. I'm the rapper with clout, everybody yap about. Check it out, guns I bust 'em. Problems with my wife, don't discuss them.
Did you hear that? Problems with my wife, don't discuss them. These lyrics would only fuel Tupac's response. Tupac re-records Hit 'Em Up. When All Eyes on Me dropped on February 13th, 1996, it was an instant success, debuting at #1, selling 600,000 copies in its first week and 5 million copies within the first 2 months. It was official. Tupac was now a bigger artist than Biggie. With this momentum, Tupac re-recorded Hit 'Em Up. This is when shit really got out of control.
I ain't got no motherfucker. So I fucked your.
Than fucking your rival's wife and then opening your diss track with it. But of course, Tupac didn't stop there.
First off, fuck your bitch in the clique you claim. West side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life.
Pac said he actually Biggie's wife.
We sitting there looking at each other like, woo, wee. Boy, these boy mean business, boy.
When he played Hit 'Em Up the song, I didn't like the song.
Did you feel like it was
I didn't
too
like
much?
it.
I seen the motherfucking Harlem with a boombox walk right past me while Biggie's on stage playing that shit.
We was all looking like, damn.
Of course, Biggie was shocked.
So pretty much everybody was shocked. No, I don't want to see that dude's face. But yeah, so pretty much everybody was shocked. Dang. I mean, it makes sense.
Point, him and Pac were friends, and you know, he didn't really understand where all of the negativity was coming from.
That's what the game was back then. It was very competitive. People spoke their minds. They spoke how they felt. But, you know, of course, he was hurt that he ain't had to go that far, go that route, you know what I mean? But that's just what it was back then, you know what I mean?
I wasn't into no controversy. I liked them niggas' music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out. Pac, Biggie, Puff, Suge.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg, because they showed in that movie All Eyes on Me, they showed, like, you know, Pac didn't like the fact that Snoop Dogg was still cool with Bad Boy. So it's like...
all of us together, prior to Death Row.
Here's an interesting side note that you may or may not have known already. Tupac also flipped the vocal sample Biggie used on the Get Money remix
Get money.
into a vicious Take Money hook.
Take money.
To add fuel to the fire, Tupac also stole Biggie's hook from Player's Anthem. Here's Biggie's version.
Grab your dick if you love hip hop. Rub your titties if you love Big Papa.
And here's Tupac's version.
Wow, so he used his cadence and flow. I mean, it still sounds, the Pac one's better. It don't matter, he's still better. I ain't even catch that.
When you see Tupac, call the cops when you see Tupac.
Not only was Tupac fucking Biggie's bitch, but he was also stealing his hooks too. Not many people know this, but Tupac actually dissed Jay-Z in the outro of Hit 'Em Up. But word is, the energy was so crazy in the studio that the microphone shorted when he was recording the outro, making the audio distort when he was gunning for Hove.
Fuck you too, Jay-Z, all of y'all motherfuckers.
Because of the distorted audio, these lyrics were cut from the outro on the retail version of the track. Tupac
Man didn't like Jay-Z either. Dang.
didn't just want to diss Biggie, he wanted to humiliate him and anybody who was down with him. While Biggie was the primary focus of Hit 'Em Up, Tupac also used the track to settle scores with others in the industry. Mobb Deep.
Mobb Deep. You wanna fuck with us?
Tupac dissed Mobb Deep because of their track Survival of the Fittest from their album The Infamous. The song featured the line, "Thug life we still living it," which Puck interpreted as a direct shot.
Survival of the fittest, strong, so the life still living it.
In an April 1995 interview with Vibe magazine, Puck had publicly distanced himself from thug life, a term and lifestyle he once embraced. Tupac saw Mobb Deep's line as an insult to him. Chino XL.
Chino XL, fuck you too.
The beef stemmed from Chino XL's line on his track Riot.
Industry, I'm trying not to get fucked like Tupac in jail.
Tupac was furious, interpreting the line as an attack on his manhood. Jay-Z.
Fuck you too, Jay-Z.
Although the outro vocals dissing Jay-Z were cut from the retail version of Hit 'Em Up, Tupac's anger was evident. Jay-Z's close association with
He definitely sounded angry on that track. He was going in on everybody.
Biggie, and a scene from the Dead President's music video featuring Biggie saying, "Who shot you?" while playing Monopoly with real cash, fueled Puck's fury. Puff Daddy and Bad Boy Records.
Plus the fucking
Daddy was a central figure in Puck's heart. How Do You Want It? The How Do You Want It single also included the hits two of America's Most Wanted and California Love, as well as Hit 'Em Up, making it a 4-track single release. When the 4-track single hit stores, it was much cheaper than the double disc All Eyes on Me album, which Tupac had released earlier that year, which made the single sell in huge quantities. This resulted in the lead single, How Do You Want It, charting at #1 on the Billboard single chart. This shrewd move maximized exposure and ensured that
Yeah, the All Eyes on Me album, it sold a lot. It definitely did. It sold a lot of copies.
millions of people heard the track. In only 2 months, the single had sold over 2 million copies in America alone. Hit 'Em Up has been viewed as the turning point in the feud between Tupac and Biggie, a track where venomous words were exchanged that could never be taken back.
Fuck you!
Alright, okay. Hold on, man. You ain't really talk. Technically, the video's over. We already got through most of it. That was Tupac's Hit 'Em Up, the Untold True Story. You guys tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned. And yeah, Uriah out.